Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are happy and healthy and studying also. As we have discussed about adverb, what is adverb and how many types of adverb in our previous video. Today we are going to continue this chapter, types of adverbs. Yesterday we have discussed about adverb of degree, adverbs of manner and adverb of place. Today we are going to revise one more time what is adverb and how many types of adverbs are there. So let's start. So the definition of adverb as follows. An adverb is a word that indicates or describes or gives more information about a verb. An adjective, another adverb, or even the entire sentence. So this definition we have already discussed yesterday. Now we are moving to how many types of adverbs. So there are, you can see adverbs of degree, adverbs of manner, adverb of place, adverb of time, adverb of frequency, adverbs of duration, adverbs of probability. So we have already discussed these three adverbs of degree, adverbs of manner and adverbs of place. Today we are going to start adverbs of time. Adverbs of time indicates the time of action and answer the question when. When the action is done. So it indicates or describes when the action is done. So adverbs of time indicates the time of an action and answer the question when. So whenever we are talking about adverb of time, so it indicates when. It's giving the answer when. So if I am going to give you one example of this, the conference began early or she will come tomorrow. If I am going to give you an example, she will come tomorrow. Now here you can see come verb and here tomorrow is showing when she will come. She will come tomorrow. So it indicates time of an action. Now this is called adverb of time. Now another example, if I am going to give you, she replied at once. She replied at once. It means when she replied at once. Here you can see adverb of time. Adverb of time. This is verb and she, over here is subject. She replied at once. When she replied at once. So this is called adverb of time because it's showing the action, the time of action. So from this adverb of time you can understand when the action is being done. Now we are moving to next types of adverb, adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency tells us that how often the work has been done. An adverb of frequency indicates how often an action takes place and answer the question how often. They are usually placed before the main verb or after the helping verb. So here you can see, if I am going to give you a few examples of adverb of frequency. So the example I am going to give: adverb of frequency, I am going to give Rita often helps. Rita often helps her mother in the garden. In the garden. Now here Rita often helps. So it is giving the answer how many times the work has been done. So how often? Now here Rita often. Now here often is showing adverb of frequency. It is showing adverb of frequency. Now helps. Helps is a verb over here, and you can say this is main verb, and this is often is showing adverb of frequency. Now next example, let's see next example also. He rarely visits the museum. He rarely visits the museum. Now here you can see how many times he visits the museum. Rarely. How often he visits? So the answer is rarely. Now here you can see rarely is a word which indicates how often this action was done. So he rarely visits the museum. This is adverb of frequency, and this is main verb. So that is how we can understand. So these are the adverbs which are showing that indicates how often an action takes place and answer the question how often. So adverb of frequency is giving answer how often, or you can say how many times it was happened or it is being happened. So these are the question which arises, and these adverbs are used to give the answer how often the action take place, or and answer the question how often are usually placed before the main verb and after the helping verb, and it is placed always, usually it is placed before the main verb and after the helping verb. So these are called adverb of frequency. Now if we are going to talk about adverb of duration, it is also indicate the time, forever, constantly, temporary, briefly. These are all showing the duration of time. And adverb of probability, it means probability where the probability is there, where you can see assurance is there, or you can see the expectation will be there. That time these are adverb of probability will be used. Certainly, maybe, probably, possibly, surely. So these type of the words will be used in adverb of probability. So whenever we have to show the certainty or indefinitely of an action, we are going to use these type of the adverbs. These are the certainly, maybe, probably, possibly and surely. Now we are going to talk about next kinds of adverb, that is relative adverbs. Relative adverbs are words like where, when and why and so on. They modify a word and refer back to a thing or person that the pronoun refers to. They function as adverb and as conjunction also. For example, I am going to give you few examples. So let's see few examples of relative pronoun. First, I cannot find the house. Example, I cannot find the house where my aunt live. So here I cannot find the house where my aunt lives. So I cannot find the house where my aunt live. So here you can see where is a relative adverbs. Now I am going to give you one more example. They come here. They come here whenever they are free. Whenever they are free. Now here you can see they come here whenever they are free. So here whenever is a relative adverb because they modify the words and refer back to a thing or person that the pronoun refers to. They function as an adverb and as conjunction also. So these are all words which used to refer back to a thing or a person that the pronouns refers to. They function as an adverb and as conjunction also. So where, when, why, whenever, these are the words are relative pronouns. Now we are moving to or relative adverbs. Now we are moving to next kind of adverbs, that is interrogative adverbs. Interrogative means, as you all know, these are all question framing words. All, as you have seen in the interrogative pronouns, interrogative adjectives, same here. Similarly, we can see in the adverb also. So interrogative adverbs that are used to ask question about time, quantity and reason are called interrogative adverb. For example, how was the movie? When does the play begin? Where is the new mall being built? Why don't you like her? So these are the examples of interrogative adverbs. Now, if I am going to tell you interrogative adverbs are used to ask question. As we have seen in our earlier part of speech also, that interrogative pronouns, interrogative adjectives, these are all used to ask questions. Words like how, where, when, how many, how much, how often, how long, why, and so on are used for asking question about time, place, manner, quantity, reason, and frequency of an action. They usually come at the beginning of the sentence. Whenever we are used to it for asking question, it will come at the first or second place of the sentence. Now I am going to give you few examples are written in this clip, and now I am going to give you few examples of interrogative adverbs. So here you can see it. Few examples I am going to give you over here. Where was the building constructed? Building constructed. Now here you can see the question is asking about the place. Where? So, where was the building constructed? So it is asking about the place. So interrogative adverbs are used to ask the place of an action. Now, next example I am going to give you. How is the girl performing in academics? How is the girl performing in academics? It means over here that it's asking about how the manner of performance of that particular girl. So, how she performed in the academic. So, how it's showing the adverb of manner or manner of an action. Now I am going to give you next example. When will meeting be held? When will the meeting be held? It means when will the meeting be held? It means it's asking about time. So here from this clip you can able to understand that interrogatives not only are making question, but it is asking how much, how often, how long, why, how, where, when, and how many. So these are the question making words and they are all called interrogative adverbs. Now we are moving to next kind of adverb, which is exclamatory adverbs. As in this exclamatory adverbs, from the name of the exclamatory or exclamation, you can always remind that there is a exclamation mark. Wherever we can find exclamation mark, these are all called exclamatory sentences. As you have already seen in the previous videos, and we have discussed this, that exclamatory adverbs express degree or extent in exclamation. It shows or express degree or extent in exclamation. So, how and what are exclamatory adverbs? How and what? These two words can show the extent, express degree or extent in exclamation. So, here how and what are exclamatory adverbs. Now, I am going to give you few examples of exclamatory adverbs. They are: how beautifully she danced. How beautifully she danced. Now here exclamation mark will be there. Now here you can see how is used. So it's showing in, or it, you can say it expressing degree or extent in the exclamation. Now next example I am going to give, that is, what a lovely view. What a lovely view. Exclamation mark will be placed. What a lovely view. So here you can see what a lovely view. It means it's showing the exclamation, or you can say the words how is used as an exclamation verb, adverb, how clever he is, how nice you are. So these are used to show or express the degree or extent in exclamation. So these are all adverbs are called exclamatory adverbs. Now, as we have discussed the degrees of comparison, as similarly as we have discussed in adjectives, degrees of comparison, adjectives having three types of degree: positive, comparative and superlative, that we have already discussed. Now, in adverb also there are three degrees. First is positive degree, second is comparative degree, and third is superlative degree. So here positive degree, that used to write that we are using over here hard, harder, or you can say hard if we are going to take hard. So hard, harder and hardest. So you can say there is a positive degree which is used in with the singular action. They are called positive degree. And if we are going to compare in two people's work, so we can use comparative degree. And superlative degree, it means where we are going to compare, or we are not able to compare to anyone or more than one people, there we can use adverb of superlative degree. Now here one thing I would like to say, that comparative degree means comparing something to something else. As we are comparing, it is also used in the comparative degree. The same thing will be follow. So comparative means comparing something to something else. Comparative adverbs, how was, which action or state is better, worse, stronger, weaker, or so forth. For example, more, less, better, worse, faster, slower, farther, closer. These are the words are used before an action. So, these are the words are able to compare one thing to another thing. So, you can see over here that some comparative adverbs show us which action or state is better, worse, stronger, weaker, and so forth. For example, more, less, better, worse, faster, slower, farther, closer. For example, you can see in this clip, the examples are given over here. These are Maggie works out more seriously than Donna. She eats less than her friends. You are better than this. We couldn't go slower even if we wanted to. So here you can see the comparison between Maggie and Donna, and she and then her friends, you and this, and we couldn't go slower if we wanted to. So here you can see the comparison between we and our wish. So comparative adverbs shows us which action or state is better, worse, stronger, weaker, and so forth. These are all called comparative, or you can say comparative adverbs. So if it is written carefully, so in comparative adverbs you can write down more carefully. If it is written carefully or cautiously, so you can write more cautiously. If it is written sweetly, you can convert in more sweetly, politely to more politely, far, farther, badly, worse, late, later, little, less. Less than we are supposed to use. Well, better, much, more. So, these are all comparative adverbs. Now we are moving to next slides, or you can say next a degree of comparison, which is superlative adverbs. Superlative means of the highest degree, or you can say in the simple words, beyond any comparison. Superlative adverbs shows us which action or state is the best, the strongest, and so forth. For example, best, most, least, worst, strongest, fastest, slowest, highest. So here you can see superlative means the highest degree. Superlative adverbs how shows us which action or state the best, the strongest, and so forth. Now for example, you can see best, most, least, worst, strongest, fastest, slowest, highest, so on. And examples are given over here. He knows best. It was the most boring experience. Now here we cannot compare it from one thing. So it is most. More and most. More is a comparative degree and most is the highest, or you can say the beyond any comparison. He shouted the loudest, so he won. He ran the slowest, so he lost. It means loudest, slowest, and most. These are all superlative adverbs. So, it is called superlative adverbs. So, if it is written more carefully in superlative degree, we can write most carefully. If it is written in comparative degree more cautiously, we can change in superlative degree most cautiously. If we are going to write the superlative degree of more sweetly, we can write most sweetly. More politely become most politely. Farther become farthest. Worse become worst. Later become latest. Less become least. Better become best. More become most. So that is how we can convert positive degree to comparative degree of adverbs and comparative degree of adverbs to superlative degree of adverbs. So these are all degree of comparison of adverbs. Now regarding comparative and superlative degree, we can see some tips are given. Hardly means almost none and hard means heavily. So Rama works hardly, it is wrong. If we are going to write Rama works hard, so it is correct. Rama hardly works, it is also correct. Third sentence is correct as hardly indicates here Rama is a lazy person. Now tip number 2, you can see late means after the expected time. So lately means recently. So he came lately, so it is wrong. If we are going to write he came late, so it is correct because it's showing the time or expected time. Now have you seen her lately? So it is talking about, it means recently. Okay, so this is tip number 2 of using lately. So tomorrow we will discuss the position of adverbs and we will solve exercise also. So till then, bye bye and take care and revise adverb and degrees of adverbs and kinds of adverb also. So bye bye and take care.